That attorney said there are several measures that could help prevent incidents like this at retention ponds, and the number one suggestion is fencing. According to JSO, a special needs child was found unresponsive in a pond near Denard Avenue on Saturday around 2:00 p.m. Jacksonville Fire and Rescue responded and attempted to revive the child, but were unsuccessful. It's still unclear how the child ended up in the pond.
I can only begin to imagine the absolute horror that this is.
We spoke with Adam Finkel, a legal expert from the Haggard Law Firm, which represents numerous families of children who drowned in retention ponds in our region.
Our firm specifically represents a handful of families that have tragically been impacted by retention ponds in the Jacksonville area that were not maintained up to code.
Finkel says there are safety measures required around retention ponds. Property owners need to ensure banks around the ponds aren't too steep or implement other options like vegetation or fences around the water line. It's unclear whether a lack of any of those measures were at play in this case.
Which is why those safety measures are in place and those requirements are in place on the companies who have the funds and have the know-how to put up measures, whether it's maintaining the side slopes, making sure there's vegetation in place, putting up a fence to delay, deter, and prevent these drownings from occurring. So I certainly wouldn't be thinking that anyone should be placing any blame, but an investigation is going to be undertaken, and ultimately Everett's going to have to answer those questions.
Moving forward, Finkel argues lawmakers at the state or local level should consider raising safety standards around retention ponds, which have been responsible for the death of several children in recent years.
Put a fence around it. No one ever goes up to a pool and then sees the fence and says, oh, I don't want to live at that property. It's ugly because there's a fence around the pool. It's standard and it's safe. It saves lives. It saves children's lives. It's that simple. Who would not be in favor of that?
As of right now, it is unclear if the child drowned in the pond. The case remains under investigation. For local coverage you can count on, I'm Nicholas Brooks, Action News Jax.